Shane, so I got a question. So I've talked about the role of humor in the human conscious and interaction of human conscious with these two fools quite a bit. So I'm curious, especially before you started doing stand up and kind of gaining some momentum, like what role, if any, did humor play in your life, especially at a younger age?
Early on, I think it was an escape for me. I think that it was, I mean, looking back, I think it was just like my niche or whatever that I was carving out to gain status, to talk to girls, to make friends.
Nice.
I mean, I don't think it was, I mean,
So let me get to kind of the heart of it, and I'll relate to why I'm asking. You know, because I watched your documentary, and I think at some point you mentioned, or it was mentioned, that you struggled with or wrestled with either depression and or bipolarism. So I was curious if comedy or just humor in general played a role with that, or helped you cope with it, or helped you.
Oh, I mean, it has in my adult life. I'm just saying, like early on, it was a much more shallow kind of experience.
Okay.
If anything, it was just the it was just something. It was just like a reason to not kill myself. Was that I was like, well, maybe one day I'll be this famous stand-up comedian, and
what a thing to look forward to.
what's that?
What a thing to look forward to.
I don't know that today.
As soon as I had a bit of success, all of that stuff all seemed pretty empty and pointless anyway. And that's why I kind of shifted my career into exploring some of these bigger ideas. And so it's just changed things a lot. Like if you listen to my first album, I was just like telling jokes just to get laughs and being silly for the sake of being silly. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes I still miss that part of myself. I just don't do that anymore. I definitely use much of my comedy to explore being bipolar, to dealing with depression, dealing with lack of motivation, trying to communicate big ideas. I love like writing jokes about just how futile and pointless all of this existence is, and just seeing the look on audiences and they like just wanted to like take a break from their miserable jobs and have a couple laughs for a night. And I just remind them of how incredibly tragic all of this is.
You're only here because your dad didn't pull out.
That really does it for me.